This is my 2005 Nissan Pathfinder, and it's got dual climate control. And this is one of the first things that I noticed was wrong with this, is that when I turned these knobs, nothing would happen. The fan wouldn't go up, the temperature wouldn't change like that, and they wouldn't rotate back into space or back to the top. So I watched a video, and a guy put some heat shrink and stuff on them. So what you do is you take these gray knobs off like this, like that, and then you can slide a piece of heat shrink across that knob, and then you heat it up and it'll shrink, shrink down on it, and then it'll work from there. But it didn't go as planned the first time, so and I went down to the junkyard. And what you're going to want to do at the junkyard is you're going to want to start back here, and you pull up this gray trim piece right here, and then you'll be able to lift up this gray trim piece right here, which will pivot, and then pivot the whole thing, because there's a channel right in here that latches these two together. This one sets on top of a hook piece like that. So once you get that moved back, then you can start up here, and you take out this tray, right? And you take that out, there's a screw down there. It's a Phillips screw, and you unscrew it. And then once you get that, then you can carefully start working it up from the top. And you'll get it up from the top, and this thing right here is attached by torque bits. So you'll want your torque screwdriver to get it out. And that's all you'll need if you go to the junkyard to pull one of these. There are not very many of them, so you have to keep your eye out. But these knobs are interchangeable with a bunch of different vehicles that Nissan made at the same time. The Titan and the Armada have knobs that are like this. Some of them are more shallow and some of them are taller, but it doesn't matter. You just need the same little, you're gonna go to the junkyard and you're gonna find these if you need them. Oh well, let's do the middle one, it's easier. You're gonna want these little black dial things that are in here, right here. You're gonna want them if they're broke, all right? And the other ones that break are, let's put this back on, these over here, right? You're gonna want this little dial piece right here out of a Titan or an Armada.
12 o'clock midnight.
So once you get it, this is my extra one right here. See, that's the junkyard piece on it, but there's a screw right there, and a screw right there, and a screw right there, and a screw right there. And then it pulls off, and you unplug the top, and you unplug those two things. Then you've got your piece, and you're ready to go. The problem is these. See right there, that crack in the top of that? That's what happens, and then these don't spin, they can't hold on to that piece in the middle there, that D post. And then with the small ones, this is the problem that happens, it breaks. They just get so brittle from the heat and the cold that they break. Here's another one that's broke. So these are parts that I gathered together.
Now you just sit at home in your grandma's basement with your drawers on, typing on your damn keyboard. Shut the hell up.
Now the second way to repair it, and probably the most reliable, is to take a little brass pipe bushing like this. They're pressure bushings, so you get them in plumbing. So you can get them, and then what you're going to do is you're going to drill that to 10 millimeters. The post right here measured across is 10 millimeters. And what you'll do with this afterwards is slide it over the top of this. Just slide it down, and then it'll hold all that in place. See that there? And then I can push it down with like my key or something. I can push on it and get it seated on there. It doesn't have to go all the way down. These are shorter than the regular ones, but that's plenty of room. And then you've got a metal band around it that holds it and keeps that from spinning. And to get these out right here, because they're behind this plastic shield, you're gonna have to break the seal right here. And there's a clip here and a clip here and a clip there and a clip there, and you pull on them and the face comes off. All right, once the face comes off, you can get these off right here. But you don't really need to. You can leave it all together and just push that bushing down over it, right? You don't have to take it off at all, because you're just repairing that crack. And if you look really close, you can see the crack in that one right there. That one's got a crack, and this one's got a crack. Well, that one's fine, but I put the bushing over it anyway. So that one's got a crack, you can see right there. So this is what it's gonna look like when you get it fixed. It's gonna have these little bushings on it right here. Then you'll put it all back together and go put it in your vehicle, and now you've got dials that flip back and forth, and they're not broken anymore. But this is the dual climate control for the Nissan Pathfinder. So look at that, repaired.
Do you got a lot of moose up there?
A lot of moose.
Want to hear my moose call?
Yeah.
Here we go. Not bad, right?
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Want to hear mine?